All right. I welcome you to hopefully a very quick meeting of the Town Council for the Town of Washington, June 8, 2020. Does everyone have access? Yes.
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 Good. Thank you. So we have a call to order. We have approval of the agenda. Are there any, I make a motion to approve the agenda. Are there a second to that?
I'll second it.
Mary Ann seconds. And are there any changes or additions?
No.
All right. Roll call vote to approve. Patrick?
Yes.
Gail?
Yes.
Mary Ann?
Yes.
Joan?
Yes.
Joseph?
Yes.
And I, yes. All right. We have minutes from the May 11 meeting.
I'm sorry, is Brad not here?
Brad is not here.
Okay, thank you.
Oh, and Nancy Bunton is on the way in.
Oh, good.
Mr. Mayor, if I may, there's a few procedural matters that need to be addressed.
In terms of starting the meeting?
Yes.
Okay, please go ahead.
So first, Barbara, if you take the attendance by calling the roll. This is not the grade, but.
Absolutely. Mayor Catlin, are you present?
Yes.
Mr. O'Connell?
Here.
Ms. Swift?
Yes.
Ms. Kuhn?
Yes.
Mr. Whited?
Yes.
Ms. Platt? Yes. Mr. Schneider? And then, John, do I need to ask if you're here?
No, it can be noted in the minutes, but I'm not a category. So there is an audio recording being made of this meeting. This meeting is held as an emergency meeting in accordance with provisions of 44-146.21. The governor of the Commonwealth having declared an emergency due to the coronavirus pandemic, which is still swinging right along. We'll ask anyone who wishes to speak to identify themselves, so there's not, in case there's only an audio record, even though it may be clear on the video record, that the audio record will be clear also. All votes will be taken by roll call vote, recorded in the minutes. Anyone who leaves this electronic meeting should note that to the clerk at the time that they leave the meeting. This meeting is held to address matters that relate to the ongoing emergency and the ongoing operation of the town that are necessary during this emergency period. Are there any questions about the process?
No.
That's it.
All right. Thank you. We have the May minutes. Anything to any changes?
I make a motion to approve as submitted.
I second.
This is Gail.
And Mary Ann is the second.
Yes.
And then let's have a roll call vote. And sorry, I'm just going to be going by my screen. So it has nothing to do with alphabetical or chronological or anything else. So Gail Swift.
Yes.
Patrick O'Connell.
Yes.
Mary Ann Kuhn.
Yes.
Joan Platt.
Yes.
Joseph Whitehead.
Yes.
Fred Catlin, yes. All right, minutes are approved. Reports, I have nothing to report that pertains to the emergency situation. So I defer now to their treasurer.
Thank you. First, on the bills to be paid that you received from Barbara this afternoon, just two things to note. ESS is higher than normal because of the approval that we gave for the wastewater survey, which has been received in our hands. And also Country Water, we all agreed to replace the water meter at the inn during the time that it was closed. So that was complete. Those are the only two unusually high expenses. Any question on any others? Okay, and then on the, shall we have a motion to approve the bills to be paid and bills already paid for approval?
I presume so. John Bennett, is that the operation, or should we do
Yes.
the whole bills to be paid plus the treasurer's report all at one time?
All at once, if you'd like.
Okay, good. Treasurer's report, any questions?
No.
Now, at this point, Gail, would you like to make a motion?
Sure, I will make a motion to approve the treasurer's report and bills to be paid and
Perfect.
already paid for approval.
This is
Perfect.
Joe Whited, I second.
We have a motion and a second and roll call. Gail Swift,
Yes,
Patrick O'Connell,
Yes.
Marianne Kuhn,
Yes.
Joan Platt,
Yes.
Joe Whitehead,
Yeah.
Fred Catlin, yes. All right. Is there any report from the Planning Commission?
no meeting.
All right. I will give a brief report. The Architectural Review Board did have a meeting, and they approved some enhancements to the post office. Since they don't pertain to the emergency situation, I'm not going to go into any detail, but if anybody has any questions, they can certainly look at the minutes of the Architectural Review Board, which should be with the town clerk. All right, Mr. Bennett.
Nothing, Mr. Mayor.
All right. I see there's no old business. So the only new business I see is the draft budget for 2020-21.
I believe you have to declare a public hearing now.
Thank you very much. I am always at the at the kindness of strangers and my fellow council members. So I hereby declare a public meeting. Do we need to have a roll call to declare a public meeting?
No.
Okay.
It's already been authorized and advertised.
Okay. So we are in a public hearing, and since we are in a public meeting, Nancy, I want to welcome you for joining us. Thank you for being with us.
Thank you.
All right. We are in a public meeting. Gail, do you want to start off?
No, just to see if there are any questions, which I think what we've done is we've taken the most difficult scenario. Nobody knows what the future is going to bring for the next few months. So I've done it extremely conservatively. The only changes that we can hope for coming up is as businesses begin to open, as the inn has, and our other fellow partners here in town, that we will see an increase in revenue, which will mean a decrease in what we have to take out of the LGIP. That is the only comment that I really have on what we've presented.
Good.
Nancy, do you have anything specific that you'd like to address or have any concerns about?
No, I tuned in just to see how you're going to manage the budget during this time, the crisis time.
Yeah, what we've done is literally presented the most difficult scenario. Hopefully it's way too,
On the income side.
yes, on the income side. So, and I think one thing that has to be made clear to everyone and the public being Nancy, but for all of us, we legally have 3 separate budgets. We don't have one overarching budget for the town. I did a summary. We've always had summaries, but I don't think the point has been made enough that we do have 3 separate budgets, which is why in doing these, I went budget by budget and balanced each one individually, looking at what the needs were. And thanks to Brad for going over the wastewater part of it and the waterworks to make sure that I was being conservative enough, but not so conservative that we were damaging anything. So thanks to him in absentia.
And the 3 budgets are the operational budget for the town, the wastewater budget, and the water supply budget.
True, that's it.
And we should also give a public shout out to Joe Whitehead for all the work that he has done to
Absolutely.
work with, and Gail, also to you. Between the 2 of you, you all have done Herculean work on this and carried a big weight.
And Joe and I didn't kill each other. That the miracle. You know, we were we had our good 6 feet of table apart, and we weren't even throwing things at each other by the time we got through. So I thought that was pretty good.
That's because both of your partners probably cleared all the heavy objects out of the room before you all sat down.
Probably.
All right. John, do we have to do a motion to approve each budget separately, or can we do it all as one motion?
None of the above.
It's one
Sorry,
motion,
John.
but they are
That's
voted
next
on at the
week.
next meeting.
Oh, okay. All right.
This evening's only the public hearing on the 3 budgets. And then they're voted at the next meeting I'd re-announce the time.
All right.
Yes.
And our next meeting is when?
A week from today.
Week from today.
Week from today.
All right. So we will have a meeting on June 15th at 7 p.m. Monday, June 15th at 7 p.m. to vote on the budget.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, we need to change the minutes because it says the next meeting is July 13th.
Okay. Change the meetings for May.
The minutes that were just approved. I think it says,
Says the next regular scheduled meeting is June 8th.
okay, well then, somewhere it said something about July.
That was on the draft agenda.
Oh, that's on the agenda, thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks, Joan, yeah, on the
You're
agenda.
welcome.
Never
Okay,
mind.
well, this isn't a regularly scheduled meeting, correct? This would be a, what do we call the meeting next week, John?
So you'll continue this meeting, that's a regular meeting. You'll continue this meeting to June 8th at 7 p.m. for the purpose of voting on the 3 budgets and any other matter that may properly be placed on the agenda for that evening.
So, okay.
So it'll be a
So,
continued
is there
regular
any,
meeting.
I'm sorry, cut you off.
It'll be a continued regular meeting.
Okay. All right, is there any other comments before I close the public meeting? All right, I hereby close the public meeting. At this point, I see nothing else on our agenda. Are there anything that anybody would like to bring up? I know that's highly illegal, but on invite, any thoughts? Nothing? Good. I don't want to beat Mary Ann's record too badly by having such a fast meeting.
Doing
That's
very
it.
well.
All right, so we need to have a motion to continue this meeting until Monday, June 15th at 7 p.m.
I second.
Is that by Zoom?
So
Yes.
Joe, did you move it?
Yeah. Joe
Yes,
White.
it's by, Mary Ann,
Right.
it is by Zoom.
Thank you.
All right, so we have a motion from Joe Whitehead and a second from Gail Swift and a roll call vote to continue the meeting. Gail Swift,
Yes.
Patrick O'Connell,
Yes.
Mary Ann Kuhn,
Yes.
Joan Platt,
Yes.
Joe Whitehead,
Yes.
Joan, I do not want you to be spoiled by how fast these meetings go. I think we are done.
We
Thank you
are.
all.
So
Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
thank
Oh,
you, guys.
yes.
John Bennett, would you stay on for a couple of minutes afterwards?
If you'd like, why don't we use the telephone? I just got a
Okay,
voice
we'll
call.
do that.
Okay, great.
All right. And
Okay,
Barbara,
bye.
I will go ahead and send you this.